When I was first hurt, it was hard for me to acknowledge that I wasn't able to do certain things anymore. And at times, things that were very normal and things that I'd done a million times would be impossible for me. So I would feel extremely guilty whenever I had to say no to anybody for any reason. I just felt that as a normal existing human, that I should be able to do everything that I set my mind to. And it could be as simple as just like a family gathering, something like that. But I had to learn that at times I had to have the courage to say no. I had to have the courage to say, to allow myself to be a little bit vulnerable and say, I can't do this for whatever reason. Going to talk about that today on Mark My Words. Welcome to Mark My Words. Mark My Words is the story of my journey from a place where I was shattered to where I could live again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are discussing the challenge that can be saying no to stuff. In our, I guess, Western white culture, it's impolite to say no. So you've got this cultural restraint. But at times, it's going to take a lot of humility to be able to say to someone or somebody that you can't actually do something. Admitting to my family that there's times when I cannot make it to family gatherings, gatherings that I'm completely safe at, and I know that I'm completely safe. But I know that my mental health is either on edge or I'm struggling or something like that. So I will not go. And I would rather not go to something than go there and be half of who I want to be. Does that make sense to you? I want to be the fun guy at the family thing. I want to be the guy that's involved. And if I can't be myself, my natural self, I feel like I'm letting everybody down. And by the end of the gathering, I'm in a complete fail space because I haven't been able to live up to my own expectations of how I should be able to behave in front of my family or my friends or a speaking engagement. There are times where you just have to quite literally say, you know what? I can't do this. I don't want to say it. I never want to say it. I never want to be the one that's calling somebody and saying, look, I committed to this thing and now I can't do it. I hate doing that. And in a way, that messes with my mental health unless I give myself permission to do it. Unless I give myself the actual permission and say to myself, Mark, there's things that you would probably be expected to do, but it's going to be a fail if you do it. Now, the people at the event might not see anything, might not know at all that I'm struggling the whole time. It might be, oh, Mark's a bit quiet today, or, Mark was a bit off. It's not going to be a big deal for them. But for me, the internal struggle makes that mental health journey so much more difficult. And I would much rather have the courage to say to my family, my friends, my workmates, I cannot do this today. It takes trust. You have to trust that people aren't going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. It really helps if you've got somebody in your corner. For me, it's my wife. We will, the day of an event, I might turn to her and just say, mate, I can't do this. Generally, we try and do it in the couple of days leading up to, and we're very honest about what it's going to be and what's going to happen and who's going to be there and what's going to be expected. And a couple of days out, I might even just start saying, I don't know if I can go to this. Now, I've been very fortunate in that my family understands that I have extreme mental health struggles, and they know that I will be there if I can. And I mean, I guess that's a bit of a saving grace for me because I'm able to convey to them that I want to be there. It's not that I'm mad at anyone. It's not that I'm um, upset at anyone. It's just I haven't got the mental capacity to be able to do it. It takes courage, takes humility, but sometimes you just have to say no. And that includes if you're supporting somebody. Sometimes you just got to give them permission to cop out and not treat them like they're copping out. Just let them know, mate, I understand that this one's probably too much for you. I know that you probably can't handle it. And it doesn't mean, like I said, that I'm going to have a meltdown at the event or something's going to happen. My mental illness is going to show. It could just be that my internal conversation is so hard on myself that I walk out of an event exhausted and drained and mentally struggling, which is where we never want to be. My encouragement to you today is to ask you to prioritize your mental health, to be courageous in guarding your mental health, and have the courage to be a little bit vulnerable to the people around you, just to let them know that, you know what? I am fine. I am good. It's just at times I can't do things. I could, it's not like I'm tied to a chair or something, but I just know that I couldn't be at my best. And I know that I'm going to be struggling with my mental health afterwards. I mean, there were family events that I would go to. And then for the next 2 or 3 days, I could only think about, I didn't say hello to this person. I didn't do this. I wasn't funny. I didn't make anybody laugh. I didn't do the things that I normally do. And it would run over and over in my head, and it would turn that event into a monstrous fail, and it wasn't necessarily a fail at all. But at times, rather than going down that rabbit hole, just don't go down there in the first place. It does take courage, and it's not easy. Please don't think for 1 second that I'm saying that this is easy, because I know it's not. Hey, I want to thank you for listening today. Like, share, subscribe, please. Appreciate it. Got lots and lots of people that listen, and very few people that actually send us any feedback or just even like us. Be great if you would. It's not the end of the world if you don't. um, have a great week. I look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Mark My Words. I'd like to thank my producer, Meredith Brosnan, and also Torian, Kevin, and Lorraine. And I can't forget the band Adelaide, who allows us to use their song as our theme.